And we back. And we back. And we back. And we back. You. And we back. And we back. And we back. And we back. We back. This is the intro. Dun 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 say. Dun 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 say. Dun 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 say. Man, my daughter couldn't have a better mother. Oh, I love that song, by the way. I love Chance the Rapper. Let me press start, make sure I have my time on. Is everything on and popping in here? I gotta move my mic up a little bit. But what's Coochie, everybody? We are back for another episode of Holla Jiayre. I don't know a theme song yet. My mic, hold up. I don't have a theme song just yet, so I don't even think of something. But I do gotta think of something. That made no sense. Well, we'll get there. But what is Coochie, everybody? I am back. And welcome to my podcast, Holla Jiayre. I'm Jiayre, if you do not know. Yeah, I said my name proper. I had to really put some emphasis on my name because I literally was listening back and I literally said Jiayre all weird. So yeah, I'm Jiayre. I am the host of this. I'm the truest, the realest, the sexiest, the most energetic person. Well, one of the most energetic people. But I'm back, and how has everybody been doing? I've been honestly doing good. I've been real positive lately. I've been doing some self-care on myself, a little bit of self-love. Everybody needs to do that here now and then. And I think it's very important, really taking care of yourself, really understanding where mentally, physically, emotionally, even sexually that you need attention. Hell, I'm just being honest. But yeah, my life has been really simple. I've been really planning this next episode 2, which is definitely going to be incredible. I definitely think it's a topic that I'm very well, I don't want to say versatile at, but I'm very well, I've thought about this a lot. And when I was, asking my friends, what topics do you guys want to hear? What things you want to hear on my podcast? How we going to start here? How we going to start here? And then this topic came up, and, this has been a conversation for a long time, a conversation for a lot of people. And I know a lot of people have the same thought process. A lot of people disagree. A lot of people are just up in the air with it. Like they'll agree or they'll disagree when it comes to them or when it happens to them. But I do want to talk about it. I'm trying to figure out, is there anything else I can say before I jump in? Because I just might as well just jump in, Some of you guys may agree. Some of you guys may disagree. On my YouTube, please comment below if you agree or not. Or if you have your own opinion about it. I would love to hear it in the comments below. And I may just comment back if I have the energy or time or the effort. Because I have a life outside of this. But this will be my life. So I want to talk about love, okay? I want to talk about romantic love, exactly, to be exact. We can't talk platonic love and familiar love. We will do that. But it's definitely romantic love. And I am going to address this now. This definitely is going to be a part 1 of many because a lot of people have different opinions. A lot of people have different thoughts. A lot of people have different experiences when it comes to love and when it comes to this specific topic. When it comes to love or specific topics when it comes to love. And so I know when I start having guests on here, they're going to have their opinions on their different love lives. They're going to have their different opinions on situations, their successes and their failures when it comes to relationships. And so I guess I can start about love nowadays. And when I say nowadays, for me, I'm talking about really my generation, my generation and let's say a decade. Let's say, because I'm 24 now. So let's say 24 to 34-year-olds. Because I know a lot of them are actually experiencing the same thing that I'm doing or that I'm going through or the same thing as my generation is going through. It is crazy that you will honestly think that people in their late 20s, early 30s is going through the same thing as we're going through in our early 20s, which it baffled me a little bit. But after having conversations with my cousins and older cousins and older friends that I went to college with, it's so interesting to see that the mindset when it comes to relationship and love hasn't changed. some people take these glasses off. I forgot how sexy I am without them. Some people are mentally matured when it comes to love, so they understand like the properties and mindset when it comes to like being in a relationship with someone else and actually thinking and taking accountability and actually having like a roadmap in your head of like how you have to map out the situation. Because in a relationship like that, there's a lot of decisions that you do have to make with that person, especially if you're married. But that we'll get to that because I've realized because after and I just had my last episode talking about his marriage worth, and it's so funny because I was just on the phone with my friend literally either yesterday or the day before. Like literally, I found out that 3 people are literally getting engaged all at the same time. And like people we went to school with, and I'm sitting here like, what the hell am I doing wrong? Like, I'm sitting here trying to be successful, trying to do my own shit. And I'm just single, sexy, no one to touch on. Like, come on now. And y'all getting engaged? And some of y'all getting engaged only known this person since May. Let me stop. Only known that person for 5 months. Some of y'all even less. And I just sit here like, what makes y'all just want to move so quickly? Because I know, like, especially if I'm going to have a relationship, personally, for me, I give myself a good 4 to 6 months before I be like, oh, we official. I'm going to be honest with you. Because within that 4 to 6 months, I do, and this is actually with friendships too, and, and I realize that, and I feel like it's for people in general, but that 4 to 6 months, they start getting comfortable with you, and then they start getting comfortable. I said that again. Wow, Jiayre, come on. They start getting comfortable with you, and you start seeing the ugly show. You start seeing their insecurities show. You start seeing their imperfections, quote unquote, show. And they feel like they can show you without judgment, which is a great thing. But that's when a lot of the red flags are revealed to you once that comfortability shows. But once you realize that like those red flags are just like fixable, or like these insecurities or these flaws are easy to deal with, are like you can deal with that because people aren't perfect, then yes, then I say go for it. That's just me as a person. But people are always different. But like for me getting engaged so quickly and under a year though, I don't see myself really getting engaged under a year. I'm sorry. I could date you. I can fall in love with you, but I don't see myself really getting engaged under us only dating a year. To me, I haven't really gotten to know you that well. And a lot of people are so desperate. I don't want to say desperate because that's so harsh, but it's honest. Dang. And it's weird because you get to a point where you had to take a step back and then see yourself in other people. Because, like the reason why I say like people are just so desperate to see relationships because they see their friends, they see people on the internet. Because especially this day and age, the internet and relationships go hand to hand. Like a lot of things you see when it comes to love and relationships, a lot of people, that's what they want, what they desire. Like, oh, I want that in my boyfriend. I want that in my girlfriend. I want my relationship to do this. I want my relationship to do that. They see on the internet, they see the good that people show and not the bad. Of course, it's the internet. They make things look pretty. But there's nothing wrong with showing your good side. Because I know a lot of those couples are genuine and they just want to showcase their love and they don't want to, they're just doing it because they want to. And they know their relationship isn't perfect. But there are those who are using that platform for money. A lot of those using a lot of them using their platform for clout. I gotta sneeze, but it's not coming out. And I'm getting upset. I'm really getting upset because it's not coming out. And a lot of them are using, what was I saying? I said a lot of them. Oh yeah, my internet couples who are using it for clout. And they're using it because they know people crave that. They know people crave what they have. Emotionally, physically, and mentally. They know. And so they're using that for views. They're using that for watching their YouTube videos. Because I know a lot of toxic family. Ooh, now I'm gonna say it. A lot of toxic ass family couple YouTube channels that have no business getting the views that they do. They only do it because one, they're toxic and people enjoy watching toxicity. Why do you think Zeus Network gets so many views? Why do you think Jocelyn Hernandez Cabarets, do it like it's my B-day, get so many views? Because it's toxic and people love to be entertained by toxicity. And that's really something about love that people blind. They get so, they see rose-colored glasses of what love thinks, what they think love is. You know, we do fantasize love so much because we see it in movies, we see it in TV shows. And again, social media is that biggest, I don't want to say hurdle when it comes to love, but I'm going to say hurdle when it comes to like really seeing love and really loving another person. If I hit my mic one more time, seeing that other person as an individual and not as your not as your I was gonna say like a dependent, like your dependency variable. You know what I mean? Being codependent. That was what everyone wanted to say. Really being codependent. And you know, and the internet's gonna be around for a long time now. So I'm not gonna say like if we change the internet, but it's always gonna change. It's gonna change to how the majority that people who absorb it really will change it. But it's neither here or there. And that's really a point that I wanted to make, was dating nowadays is so based on images and not based on emotions. If that makes sense. Like you have, like a relationship, you gotta look good for people to say, oh, y'all in a good relationship. Y'all so cute. Y'all kids gonna be this and that and the fifth. Y'all da-da-da-da this. I can't wait to see y'all in the future. Only for them to break up a whole 2 weeks after you just commented that on their post. It's so crazy because I personally, when I get into a relationship, I know that I'm going to be under radar. I'm not saying I'm going to be down low. I'm not going to say I'm going to keep it a secret. I'm not going to say I'm doing this. Because I know some people that I trust who don't know I'm in a relationship. But I think that when a relationship starts, it's so important to have your privacy before you start posting. Because like I said, image in a relationship when you post it is the highlight. It's never really about love. Like people think you're so in love when you post them, but I can't have people in my business so early in the game. You know what I mean? Like, and then like a lot of people don't know the difference between dating and talking to somebody. And that's really irritating me. Cause everybody wants territory over somebody to feel like that you're, to feel like, what's the word I want to say? Because I don't want to be like, I don't want to say like that they want to know value of them. They want to value themselves more. Like, oh, you're able to get in this relationship. You're able to get someone who looks like him, get someone who looks like her. Oh, you must be that, or you must be that, or you must be doing something right. Like you really that. It's like they need validation. And a lot of people know they're not even supposed to be in that relationship. And it's weird because, again, to my point is that toxicity has been a main point when it comes to love. And I believe people should experience at least one toxic love to know what it is. Sometimes, yes, you can view it without being in it. But I feel like that personal experience, because, and I hate to say it, but trauma does something for humans. Trauma affects you mentally, physically, emotionally, even spiritually. But that it's the rebound after you get out of that trauma, after you're done healing, after you're done evolving, after you're done really moving on from the situation. Not even moving on. I'm not even going to say that. Accepting that it happened and really moving forward. It's something about that, and something great about that when you experience it. Because from my experience, I know that from firsthand. And as much as I miss the feeling and like the thoughts of the person that I dealt with, because I'm not going to lie, sometimes I do have those little thoughts that backtrack about them. And it's just like, dang, like what if we went that direction? What if we went this direction? Like, what if we was this? You know, we could have been, we could have been. Like, come on. That's my song right there. And it's just them what ifs that really, I don't want to say drag us down, but it makes us really reflect on like how much you really grown from a situation like that. What else did I want to say about this? Because I was going to talk about, my experience with dating. So, my experience with dating has been rocky. I want to say rocky. It has not been a smooth road. I've been probably riding on mountains right now. But with my relationship, when it comes to dating, hasn't been the best. I think, especially with the situations I put myself in, it wasn't really healthy. Because especially with me, learning boundaries was such a big point in my love life. And it's I guess when you look at it's especially again, I'll keep pulling back to like literally like social media and then like other people getting in relationships and then you gonna want what they want because you want to feel what they feel, even if you don't even know this relationship like that, even if you don't know what's inside the relationship, you're looking from the outside in, but you cannot look from the outside out. Outside out. You know what I mean? Like the house is beautiful on the inside. I mean, the house is beautiful on the outside, but when you walk inside, that shit trashed. And that's really the spot I was at because it was back in elementary, middle school. This I'm gonna say that fourth, fifth grade. Back then, fourth and fifth grade was still elementary school. Nowadays, I think fifth grade is middle school now. I don't know, but back then, back in elementary school, because that's when I was in fourth and fifth grade, is really when I started having my crushes, and really one of them was unrequited. And that that was something traumatizing all in itself. I That was the first time I experienced letting my emotions out, but not that person really feeling the same way about me. And that crush went on for a long time, actually. If I'm not, yeah, I think fourth through, I want to say to freshman year. That was, oh, that was such, I cringe a little bit when I think about that. That was like, I really want to, if I could go sit down and talk to past Jiayre, I would literally sit him down and really have that hard conversation that I wish that I was able to open up about, because the only people I could really talk about it with, or I felt like comfortable without like being embarrassed or like being like not even ashamed, like just being embarrassed, was my friends who were the same age as me, who, yes, they were in and out of relationships, but at the same time, we were 11, 12 years old, 10. Yeah, we were literally not even teenagers yet. So like, really, we're dating. Like, yeah, I get it. You could date. I don't care, but it's just like y'all trying to give love advice for something that y'all think is love, or something that you are not even yet to understand is love, you know? Um, and after that, it was just like, I kept pushing. And that was really something that really affected me, but also affected me and that person's friendship at the end. It wasn't that I was physically pushing. It wasn't like every year I was like, oh, I still like you. I think you should like me. Do you like me now? It wasn't that. It was just the fact that my feelings that I didn't have really control over my feelings. So they would just stay present instead of me having an understanding that it was never going to happen. You know? I wish now that I think about it, I wish I was able to like push my feelings back and really like get comfortable with the friendship level and not always like have this fantasy of being in a relationship with that person. That was really a challenging time when it came to love for me. All through elementary, middle school, and the beginning of high school. Because, you know, I'm trying to think, like, because freshman year that happened. Sophomore year of high school, did I experience? No, nothing really romantic. But then junior year is when I really got hoes. And that didn't last long. What I mean by last long, it literally lasted all of my junior year. And then senior year, it was okay. But junior year is really when I was like, oh, I'm feeling myself. Oh, I got the juice. Like, come on, I got hoes on my kick. I got hoes on Snap. I got everything, you know. I was able to talk to people without people suspecting it, and I was living. But it's just I realized that I was like, and then again, I was in the phase where everybody was having hoes. It was like, yeah, I got hoes in this city, that city. I got hoes on that street, that street. And you just wanted to feel like you can be in that place so you can have something to talk about too. And that's really something with love too, because you can't really talk about relationships or like this like struggle of being in your current relationship when you're not even in a relationship with someone. Because I know that I had to like really like sit back and listen when like my friends would be in relationships and they have their boyfriend and girlfriend, they just talking about what they do together, and I'm just sitting here like, really? Hmm. Must be nice, huh? Like that. And like, yes, it comes off as bitter. It comes off as jealous a little bit. But, you just, sometimes you just want to be a part of the conversation. And that's really where I think a lot of this generation is really at. They just want to be a part of the conversation. They don't want to be left out or left behind. And I think that's really something that's really big now. No one wants to be left behind and in the dust or feel that way. But back to me, I'm trying to like think because junior year I had hoes. I had no business like having hoes, and then that's when I started to be sexually active, more, and I guess that's when I really had the epiphany. Well, no, I did not, because I tied love and sex together, even though they're two different things. I tied love and sex together. So if you had sex with me, I thought that you like loved me, because I really tied you getting physical with me with love, and like if you did, like it was just I was so emotionally invested, which was bad. Which I'm so happy I stopped like really trying to collect hoes my senior year, because junior year I would always like get attached to my hoes. Like really when they were like disposable, like everybody said, like they come and go, but I had my hoes around all year. And it was hurt because there was one specific person that I was like fascinated with, and I was like, oh shoot, okay, maybe we can go somewhere. Found out that person was in a whole other relationship. Found out during class. I was pissed the rest of the day because I sat there like, what? I was like, why? Like that mindset right there. But we'll get to that mindset in a minute, because I do want to talk about, because I think that's one of another struggles that no one. Well, we'll talk about that in a minute. But yeah, I was like, why? Like that's so. It's disgusting, but I also feel disgusted because I was a part of it. It takes two to tango, and I had to really understand that as well. Where am I at? Oh, back to me. I'm still not done with. I'm still not done with my story. Junior year. Junior year was very. I mean, junior year I had was wild. Junior year was just not my realization, but I got what I asked for. You know what I mean? I got what I asked for when it came to what I wanted to experience. I wanted to experience what everybody else was experiencing, so I'm like, again, didn't want to feel left out. And so I got what I asked for. So that's all I can say. But senior year, it definitely calmed down for me. Senior year, it definitely calmed down. Yes, I was looking at people in relationships like, damn, must be nice. I was still in that phase. Um, Still in that mindset. Was like, okay, but I didn't really have interest. I would talk to my past hoes that I cut off here and there, but it was more in a friendly. It wasn't in like a sexual or romantic way. It was just more friendly. Um, I was senior year. I did mess with somebody though, but we was just talking. We was just talking. We weren't. I was. I think I was moving too fast again. I was moving. Actually, I wasn't. I wasn't. I don't think I was moving. I was moving too fast for that person, and they literally like they just stopped because it was like, you know what? Yeah, you move a little too fast, and that was really me again with boundaries, learning how to pace myself. And now that's why I give myself that range of 4 to 6 months just to see what happens, and not just talking to a person for a month and be like, yeah, I'm here. That was a lesson for me. I was like, dang, yeah, I was moving too fast. I did say this too quickly. I did feel this too quickly. But I was just like, I wanted to have it. And so, yeah, senior year that happened. And I think that was the only person I was messing with. Yeah, I think that was the only person I was messing with. Yeah. Um, Now on to college. Now college was dry as a mug. College was so dry when it came to romance, and I was just sitting here like, it's college. Why don't you want to talk to me? Why don't you want to admit that you liked me? This is when I actually started to be like this. Literally just started to be like this. Like really started to like be outspoken, literally be extra. I wasn't that extra. I'm quote air quoting because I was just energetic. I was unapologetic. I was unfiltered, and I was just confident. That's really what it was. And I know that throughout my 4 years of college, it was I would look at people and look, don't get me wrong. I had my moments, but it really happened my senior year is when those moments happened when I really like started to like get in my feels about relationships. But freshman and sophomore year, that was just my free time. I wasn't really sexually active in college. Yeah, I've been celibate for a minute. I just lied right there because in college itself, I wasn't sexually active. But outside, when I came home, I was still messing with a fling from. Yeah, okay. Yeah. Oh gosh. Oh gosh. I gotta go back to that. I completely forgot about that. So college, yeah, boring. Sex life, bomb. But when I got to college, I was 18. 18 to when did I cut this person off? Or like when did we stop? Because like, we didn't really cut each other off. It was just like they left Snapchat, which Snapchat was their main communication with me. I think I want to say we officially like stopped talking or lost contact in 21. In 21. Yeah, 21 is when we actually lost like the beginning to mid 21 is when we lost contact with each other. Um it was just like it was an off and on thing. And that's really when I experienced something toxic. Um and I literally this person did like it was only sex to them. But of course, again, at this point still I was 18, 19. Yeah, I was 18, 19 when I had this realization that I was tying love to sex and just growing emotions so quickly without really, quote unquote, getting to know this person. But then again, I was getting to know this person because I knew this person well. I knew this person since I was in middle school. Um, and and there was just this point where I was so feeling so drained and I was really fully loving this person, but they weren't giving it back to me. And it was like, and I knew it was a fear. And I knew it was a fear of theirs to actually love me back. But I still was still there for them. I'm still present for them every time they hit me up. And every time, like literally the second sentence they tell me is always about sex, I will always fall into that trap. Which that's how you know that person really honestly didn't change because they don't wait a good 5 minutes into the conversation before they bring up some sex. Like it was crazy, and I fell for it. And then of course, I had my petty moments with that person. I ain't gonna lie, I was petty. I was really, really petty. But I stopped, and we lost contact after that for about a couple months. And then it was 20. Oh, I get mad when I hit my dang microphone, but it was 2021 and that person actually confessed that they had love for me. Like honestly, it was honestly a fear reflex from back from 17 cuz I believe I just turned 18. And it was just this fear that they brought up. I forgot what it was. But they admitted that they had love for me cuz there was a part of me that didn't want to let go. But a part of me was like, you know what? It's time to go. Cause I was 23. Yeah. Yeah, because 21 was last year. Yeah. I was 23. No. 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 No, 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 no. Um, no, I was 22. Cause yeah, no. Cause yeah, no, because it was the spring of 21 and my birthday's not until the summer. So yeah, I was 22. And I was just ooh, um, it was just on my mind. So we just need to talk, like for real, for real. How do you feel about me? And there was a part of me that needed that closure. There was a part of me that wasn't letting go because I knew there was more. That was really what drove me to that. And like once that person admitted they had feelings for me, again, that what if you said this before, or what if you would have confessed it earlier, like where would we be? But after that, it was just, yeah, we fell off. We lost contact with each other. I deleted their number because I didn't want to. It wasn't that I didn't want to be tempted. I was actually clearing my phone out, and I was just like, you know what? I don't use it. I don't think about texting you, so I'm just gonna delete it. I don't really. It is what it is. Now before I move on, I forgot to tell you guys, follow all my social medias. Mr. with two R's underscore expressions. It's in the description box below. If you're if you're on YouTube, send a link to the description box below in my Koji. You'll say Koji is my artist little link tree page. And so if you want to follow all my socials, I would very appreciate you. But after that early 21, that's really when I stopped in my love life. I honestly, my love life restarted, and I really had to teach myself boundaries and really teach myself patience. I'm still struggling with patience, but I'm still trying to have patience. I have patience, but it's just like, no, come on now. you could speed it up a little bit, But I get it. Everything has its time and everything has its place. So I'm never going to be like, patience sucks. I'm not going to do that. But I was going to say something after that. I completely forgot what I was going to say. But yeah, my love life has really been rocky. I don't think I've ever been in a committed relationship. I can say I thought, like back in high school, I could definitely say I thought I was in committed relationships when I really wasn't. It was just my the image in my head that I made. It was all in my head, like Ariana Grande says. So I'm trying to think, like, what else can I don't think, I think that's it for right now. For this half. Because I want to get to the next segment, which is let me get you hip, okay? Let me get y'all hip to some music before we go into our little music commercial break for my Patreons. I couldn't find an independent artist for this topic. So for my Patreons, this is for y'all. YouTube, y'all can look it up because I'm about to give y'all the names. But for my Patreons, let me just say, thank you for being on my Patreon, by the way. It's only $3. Thank you guys for so much. But I want to get y'all hip to some music. First one, since we're talking about love, I thought about toxic love, true love, honest love, unrequited love, this, that, and the fifth. I wanted to bring up some love songs. So what genre is mainly good for love songs? R&B. So I wanted to get you hip to Sydney Renee's album. That name sounds familiar because she made the remix that how you gonna up and leave me now if I could go back to the day we met. Ew, that was so ugly. But Sydney Renee's album, We Always Do This. Don't that sound toxic? She released that back in 21. And let me give you my top tracks. I love me some mixed emotions. I got mixed emotions. Da, 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 da. Oh, oh, oh. But then my number one is Supposed to Be Us. Supposed to be us. Supposed to be us. Wanted to tell you just how much I love you, but my heart keep telling me hush. Feelings keep fighting, my heart so divided. Got hurt somewhere searching for love. It was supposed to be that song get me. That song get me. So go listen to Sydney Renee's album. We Always Do This. She's independent. Go look at her, okay? And then we got this one right here. We got a Keisha Cole album, y'all. What is it called? A Different Me. This was back in 2008. This album was good. My top songs, can I just say this? I got 3 of them right here. You Complete Me was my shit, okay? And then Play Your Cards Right with Tupac, my shit. But then this one, my number one track on the album was Trust with Monica. I trust you and I love you and I want you and I need you. Baby, I breathe you. Yeah, that was my cut. And so those are my cuts, y'all. Those are my cuts. So for my Patreons, let's go on a little break. But while we're on a break, I want y'all to listen to these two songs, which were my number one picks. Sydney Renee's Supposed to Be Us and Keisha Cole's and Monica's Trust. And I'll be right back. Peace.
Thoughts of you keeping me up while I'm laying in bed. Can't get no rest, can't call and speak to you, can't get no everything I wanna say to you, I wrote it in my notes. So when the time came up, I won't forget all of my thoughts. Oh, my throat start closing up. You ask me how I'm holding up. I've been sick over you, I've been waiting for you, but you ain't been showing up. We both felt like that it was best to leave it alone. But now we're back here, I'm messing with it some more. Ooh, supposed to be us. It was supposed to be us. Wanted to tell you just how much I love you, but my heart keep telling me hush. Feelings keep fighting, my heart so divided. Got hurt, so it's searching for love. It was supposed to be us, supposed to be us, supposed to be us, supposed to be us. It was supposed to be us. Wanted to tell you just how much I love you, but my heart keep telling me hush. Feelings keep fighting, my heart so divided. Got hurt, so it's searching for love. It was supposed to be us, supposed to be us. What are we doing? We wasting time. What are you thinking about? What's on your mind? I'm trying to tell you, baby, I'm trying to tell you. I can't let go. Boy, you just don't know what I've been feeling like. Can't be without you, ain't been feeling right. So used to loving you, I can't deny. Pulling you close while you holding me tight. You get me high, never come down. Baby, your mama's home, don't be too loud. Remember when we used to play in my bed? Now all you do is just play with my head. No, you're not playing fair. Lay it on your chest while you play with my hair. Supposed to be us. It was supposed to be us. Wanted to tell you just how much I love you, but my heart keep telling me hush. Feelings keep fighting, my heart so divided. Got hurt, so it's searching for love. It was supposed to be us, supposed to be us, supposed to be us, supposed to be us. It was supposed to be us. Wanted to tell you just how much I love you, but my heart keep telling me hush. Feelings keep fighting, my heart so divided. Got hurt, so it's searching for love. It was supposed to be us, supposed to be us.
And I trust you, and I love you, and I want you, and I need you. Baby, I breathe you, never leave you. Life wouldn't be the same without you. No. So, yes, Monica, hit that note, okay? I'll put my glasses back on because I need to see. And I'll put this blanket on because it's cold. And this... Well, where we at? We Midwest. I'm Midwest. Yeah, Midwest area. It's cold. So, this blanket gonna come on. Okay. I hope my camera rolling. It is. Okay. Let's continue on with the conversation of love. Okay. What was I left off? I think I left off that me saying, about my toxic situation, about my love experiences. And let me just tell you something before I wrap that part up. It's just that I'm very happy of where I've where I came from emotionally and mentally when it came to love. You know, I definitely don't have the same mindset as I did before. I definitely don't have the same demeanor as I did before. So it's definitely a difference for me when it comes to love. Exactly now, especially that I just don't want to have that, you know, that sexual relationship without having, you know, some type of an emotional bond, you know. I guess it's a way to protect myself, but it's also a way to fully understand that we're actually emotionally compatible and understanding before I really be like, haha, let's get down, shit the bound down, okay? I just gotta say that. I'm gonna edit this hell out in this audio, but let's continue because I did want to bring up a topic like, is chivalry dead? Um, there's a lot of there's a lot of answers when it comes to this one. Is chivalry dead? In my opinion, this is just my opinion. Comment below what you think. But in my opinion, I don't think chivalry's dead. I just think people don't choose it. You know? I just don't think I think people don't choose it and don't really do that. Let me look up with I want to do a Google definition search of what chivalry means, okay? That's a nightly code. I'm talking about in dating. I don't want a nightly code. I'm talking about in dating. Oh, okay. How do you spell that? Is it courting? Oh, it's court. Okay, base. That's what it is. It's just courting, behavior between a man and a woman. Just courts. It's just. I guess I'm trying to think of the best way I can say this without offending people. But then again, if I offended you, I'm sorry. Well, sorry, not sorry. But I think people just get bored. But if you want to stick with the men to women scenario, I think a lot of men get bored. I'm not saying a lot of men are not chivalrous, but you don't see that a lot in my age range. You don't really see that. You don't really see that. And is it concerning for some people? Yes. Is it concerning for the others? No. Because there's a standard where there's just I don't expect it. I don't expect it. Y'all not chivalrous. Y'all not this, that, and the fifth. Y'all not going to do this, that, and the fifth, so I'm going to do it myself. A lot of people, I'm going to keep it widely ranged. A lot of people don't know how to be properly chivalrous. There's this idea of, I guess, of what it's the standard. But then again, the standard was made decades ago. And people don't want to change the standard to... What the hell was that? Lord, please protect me in this house. Anyway, a lot of people don't want to change that standard and adapt it to the time period now. Because a lot of things change. A lot of the generations change. Even the little kids nowadays, chivalry won't mean the same as it does this year. Especially when they get to my age. 20 years from now, they're not going to look at chivalry like that. And it's so funny because also a problem is that this generation's views don't match to older generations. They're always... I want to say they collide a lot because my generation contradicts a lot. And I think it has something to do with this time period that everyone, I was going to say my generation again. My generation is very vocal and very different, have different opinions on what the roles should be, on how things should be doing, especially in your dating life, how a lot of things aren't so barefoot and pregnant times. You know what I mean? It's they don't want to be so stuck in how the past was, and they actually want to build a future that's actually where they can create it. And I agree on that part, is that we are outspoken. We see things differently. We like the same things, but approach it differently. We see needs and this needs and that needs differently from how, if you talk to your grandparents, they said, oh, I would rather do this and need this, that, and the fifth. But that doesn't work now because they don't have that mindset. They don't expect this nowadays. They don't really think that far ahead to think about it. And so, honestly, in my opinion, I don't think chivalry is dead. I think chivalry is still here, but people don't do it, or people do it differently from what people expect chivalry to be like. Because there is a proper way to be chivalrous. I hope I pronounced that right. But one woman can think chivalry is this, but another woman can think it's the straight opposite. It depends. And I think chivalrous is honestly another love language when it comes to someone, is how they present you, is how they court you is so different. We can adapt so much as people, and it's just, you just got to see it through other people's eyes. Like, you may look at it like, why would she, now she knows she could have had him do this. Like, why didn't he not do that for her? But maybe that's not what she wants. Maybe that's not what he wants. Maybe that's not what they want. It's, I guess that's just where my views on on what chivalry dead is chivalry dead. I mean, it's complicated, especially the times are always going to change, and people's definition of chivalry will always change, especially when it comes to dating life, especially when it comes to being shown how they want to be treated or catered to or courted in a relationship. So I just want to say that right now. I just wanted to say that. I definitely wanted to bring up on that, because I definitely thought about it. I was like, is chivalry dead? I'm like, yeah, it technically is. But then I really thought about it. It was like, nah, it's not really dead. It's just different for everybody. Because I know before that chivalry was so same and so cutthroat and what was that thing? And copy and paste. And now chivalrous is like a whole dictionary of different shit. So that's just my opinion on it. Now, why? I have this other question right here. Why is the dating pool so trash? Because, like I said, I've been dating lies. I've been fishing in different ponds for some years. It's so stupid, because I like, people give up on the idea of love, so they just go to the most easiest thing, which I'm never going to do. I'm never going to settle for less. Why do you think I'm single now? Because if I was settling for less, I'd have been in a relationship. No tea, no shade. Yeah, no tea, no shade. No. Yeah, no tea, no shade. Yeah, no tea, no shade. It's just the truth. I'm gonna be honest. I'm not settling for less like a lot of people. They may be pretty. She may be the baddest. He may be the sexiest. He may be fine. He may got money. She may got this, that, and the fifth. He may got this, that, and the fifth. But when somebody looks at your date or your boyfriend or girlfriend and says, "Now you know damn well you shouldn't be with her," what the hell were you thinking? You knew. You already something when you look at somebody's like boyfriend or girlfriend, you settled for less, did you? You did, didn't you? That, like, it's that mind, like, you already know. Like, I'd rather stay single for a minute, and be like, instead of people just looking at me like, why'd you do that? You knew better. Like, that type of sense. I don't know. Like, people don't want to. People just want the labels. You know what I mean? People don't want to really build a connection. They just want to have the title. They just want to benefit what you can do for them. Like, say you got money and they just want you to buy them shit. And don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with buying your significant other, boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife, whatever, your spouse, whatever, your significant others, like literally things, because that's one of my love languages. I'm lying. I'm not gonna lie. I love getting like small gifts, big gifts. Don't really matter. I love gift giving. That's a love language of mine. But there's this thing that they're just using you. They could use you for sex. They could use you for emotional support where they actually drain you emotionally. And nothing's wrong. It's just, let me tell you something. Dating pool is so complicated because people don't really, again, they just want the title. They don't want to date nobody. They would literally, why? Literally, we had this conversation last week about was marriage worth it? Because a lot of married folks be in singles people's DMs. And the next thing you know, you're dating a married person. And it's like, where do we draw the line? Where do you just sit back and just rethink what you're doing? And then some people think Again, settle for less so they actually go for that married person. And they reap the benefits from it. And it's so funny because I literally said that. But actually, no, we're gonna talk about that in a minute because that's the dating pool is something because people be skidding scattering, and especially when you have been with someone for so long. So let's say you've been with someone for a year or two. The next thing you know, the person cheats on you and y'all break up. But then they come back, but they don't want the relationship back. They just want to be with you. You know what I mean? And it's so weird because the reason why the dating pool is trash is because people will have someone good cheat on them. They break up. They go through their 1 to 2 month anger patch. And the next thing you know, they're best friends. Some be like, some are very close. I'm not wrong. Some people are friends with their exes. Don't get me wrong. But then there's some of those who are best friends, air quotations, but they're together with no title. And so it's the confusion part of it is that a lot of people lose someone good, but just because they were quote unquote bored, they break up with them and do stuff to not make themselves bored just to go back to that person and have this basically the same relationship that they did before, but without the title. And so it's definitely confusing. Because with that, the dating pool would cause for someone to be half in the pool and half out, not fully invested in it. And so it could be very mixed signals for a lot of people who think that you got back together with your ex, which is so funny because I do want to talk about the I'm going to segue into your ex's territory. Cause you know that feeling like when you break up with somebody and everyone still views you like you're still with that person when you're actually just single. And like no one will like whoever like is interested in you, whoever like likes you like that, they just don't want to talk to you because in their mind like you belong to so and so. This goes for men and females. And I really look at that. I'm like, why? Like I get it, you were with that person, but you no longer know more. And that's what it's so interesting because people look at dating and look at like you've been with this person for so long. I don't think there's no reason it's like they set up a boundary for single people. When it comes, see, now I'm confusing myself because I'm just trying to, it makes me a little makes me a little upset to think about it like that because you're cutting off your own potential with someone. Yes, possibly from the same city. Yes, possibly from the same school. Yes, possibly from the same team, etc. But it's like it's definitely restricting, and there's a lot of restriction when it comes to the dating pool because people put self-restriction on themselves. Is there any? No, okay. I'm trying to see is there any other topic that I wrote because I'm trying to like. Anything on my mind? Well, there's still things on my mind about that, but it will come to my mind. And it's just, a lot of people don't want to be on the dating scene because now, especially now, no, I'm like, okay, I'm getting mad. I'm getting so mad right now. I'm about to pause everything and just sneeze. But especially now that the dating world is dangerous as well. Especially the Jeffrey Don something. I forgot the name. Especially with him attracting all those men and then eating them after that. And then there was news that these dudes will like go on will literally pose as gay men on the gay dating app on Grindr. Yeah, on Grindr. It was Grindr. I thought it was Tinder, but no, I think it's Grindr. On Grindr. And they would literally get their address of the person and then rob them. And there's been so many cases of that. Some people have been beating up people. Some people kill people. It's just the dating world is so... It's dangerous. Especially that's why a lot of people has cleared the pool. because it's like, especially on social media, especially when you text somebody on social media, they DM you, you're like, oh shoot, ha ha ha. And then some, it's 50-50. It's a 50-50 chance now. Some of them be genuine, some of them be catfishes, and it leads to dangerous situations. And it's just people don't know how to be genuine because of standards that we put on, that society and that has communities, different communities have put on people. And that's really a lot. I thought about the reason, but also people are trash if it is genuine as well. And it's people want to feel love. Again, I'm going to say that they're literally going to, especially for people who are catfishing, they will literally look up one of the most attractive person that they see, get multiple pictures. So when you ask for a picture, they will send it to you. And just then you start building that relationship with them, but it's not really them because you don't know what they really look like. So they want to feel like someone they can really pull somebody in when they're just behind a mask. And that's a scary thing about dating. You'll never know if the person's real. You'll never know if the person is acts like this genuine, unless you really had a conversation with them face to face or a phone call or FaceTime now. I'd rather FaceTime you now because, I'd rather see you with your words. Unless I know that's your number, unless that's your voice and that's how you act, I'd rather will FaceTime with you. Which of course, social media has its pros now. Social media does have its pros, especially when you want to contact somebody when you're literally from New York, you contact somebody from LA, and you're going to know the next thing you know, like, hey, I'm booking a flight to LA this week. Can you want to hang out when I get there? And they're like, yeah, I'm about to go to New York this month. We should plan to, like that type of mess. Like, it's pros, but the cons is that it's also dangerous because you don't know. Sometimes you don't know who really is someone. You know what I mean? You think you do until it happens, until you're on a whole catfish episode. It's everybody wants to experience love, but some people go about it so wrong. You know what I mean? So wrong to a point where it scars someone else when when y'all both looking for the same thing, but it traumatizes. And the next thing you know, one person doesn't want to date online no more because of that. Because of this happened one too many times. I guess another thing I do want to say is that nowadays with love, especially from my personal experience, there's always this point of if it's meant for you, it will never pass you by. Everyone is meant to experience love in this earth, romantically, platonic, familial. It's love is a great vibration to be in, but also romantic love, to actually have a person like that is such a great thing. Especially with people who believe in monogamous relationships and non-monogamy, which I don't judge. If you want to love on multiple people, go ahead, love on multiple people. Just be safe about it. Please. Be safe, especially with these STD rates skyrocketing in this country. Please be careful, because there's nothing wrong with that. And I know people like to do platonic relationships, which, don't get me wrong, I thought about it. I really have thought about it. I was like, ain't nothing wrong with a platonic relationship. But, with me personally, I'd rather, before I even, I'm going to say it, because I was thinking like maybe I was just in a phase. But no, I would honestly be in a platonic relationship if I had a good experience in an honest, official relationship with somebody claiming me and I'm their boyfriend and this, that, and the fifth. But I haven't yet. So I'd rather experience a one-on-one relationship before I start bringing a third person in, and then having to make sure I have communication with both of them, making sure that we have guidelines and like boundaries, because I don't want to call them rules, but you definitely do have to have rules in a platonic relationship, especially when there's 3 people in a relationship. It's a lot. It's a lot, and I'm not ready for that. So I'd rather have that one-on-one with just one person. But am I monogamous or not? I honestly don't know. Honestly, would be a free spirit when it comes to that. If I love the person, then yes, I would be committed with that. But of course, if I see the potential when it comes to both, I would definitely be in a non-monogamous relationship. You know, um, I hope monogamy is only two people, correct? I don't want to sound ignorant on my own podcast. Monogamy. Mono. Yeah, it's just just one person. Just one person. Yeah, okay. Just one. Yeah, just one person. Just making sure. Just making sure, because I don't want to sound ignorant on my own podcast right now. Okay. But especially coming from a person who has been the dark side of wanting love, and like literally everybody around him. Yeah, I'm talking about me. Everybody around him literally having flings, having feelings, getting into relationships, talking to multiple people, meeting multiple people, and then you're just there, open, ready, like wanting to receive, trying to figure out the best way for you to like get noticed. I understand that, because there is a dark side of love that people don't want to admit, and that's also the part of love that makes you want it, but you don't get it. And I don't want to switch it onto a serious tone, because like, yes, but I'm gonna cut the BS on this one. It's true. Everybody has that moment, especially when you get older and then you start following the path that you're meant to be on. That God put you on. I didn't want to say that because I know a lot of people may not follow that rule. But follow the path that you're meant to be on. And next thing you know, you get to this big stage. And next thing you know, you're successful. And you have the money. And then you have the house you wanted, the job you wanted. Your business is booming. But you also want to make a legacy after that, because you don't live forever. And maybe you want a partner. Maybe you want a wife, a husband that literally can produce someone. But you don't just want to just like be like, oh, let me just, hey you. Even though some people do this. Some people honestly be like, hey you, let's just get together. I want to have your kid just for this. But some people also just want to have that relationship, because once the kids grow up and out the house, you back to what? Being alone. And some people want that relationship, so once they're done raising their kids and they out the house, they're not alone. They're actually worried about their partner. They're actually in love with someone who's actually in love with them. I mean, it's not unrequited, and it's always a fresh start when things get bad. That's one hope for my next relationship, or I'm just going to say it's going to be my first relationship, officially. Officially, not my toxic ones that I thought back in the day was like, yeah, I was in a relationship. No, like officially. Like having something good, or even if it doesn't work out, I can say, yes, I was in a relationship that actually taught me something. And they actually claimed me. So, gotta look at my time. So I'm actually good on time. So, what else about love can I talk about? Because I mainly talked about stuff. I mainly talked about the stuff like that. Of course, there's probably stuff that I've honestly missed. Oh gosh. Excuse me. But don't get me wrong, I'd say date. Literally go on dates. Literally get to know a person like that. A little old school, quote unquote. That's a little old school. But I'd go on dates, just to get to know the person. I would definitely, the first date, meet up with them. Don't have them pick you up. I mean, unless you have to. But I would say meet them there before, so you can get to know like the first 2 dates. The third day, yeah, you can pick me up. But that's really like the first 2 dates. I say meet them there. Don't have them pick you up. Unless you're comfortable. I said that. Unless you're comfortable. But that's my advice when it comes to dating like that. There was something else that came to my head, and I forgot to write it down. It's about this situation. On why the dating pool is trash. Oh, age range. There is, people gotta understand, some people don't want to date in their age range. And I'm gonna say like 1 to 2 years or the exact age. Some people will go after people who are younger because they want that little fresh, the little pizzazz in it. Or these young folks, wow, I sound old. Like these young folks, like I'm not 24. Let's say, let's be legal, 18 years old. Let's say I'm 24 and I'm dating an 18-year-old. Some of these 18-year-olds know how to finesse you, make you think that they're mentally mature enough when they're honestly not. That's really what dating pool. Some people choose people whose mindset they can't match, or people whose mindset that can't match theirs. And I think that's a lesson, but it's also you're setting yourself up for failure if they don't see or have that mature mindset as you. You don't have to agree all the time, or you don't have to agree at all, but you do have to have a sense where y'all intelligence are equal, or at least someone is at least one or two above you, or one or two below you, so you can bring them up to yours. And then next thing you know, you're surpassing each other. But the surpassing never ends because you're always maturing and developing together. You know what I mean? I really hope that made sense. I'm saying a lot. I'm about to edit the hell out of this. But there we go. I'm gonna keep those though. And it's just that mindset. Now that's why I'm like, I don't want to date someone young. That's too young. I'd rather date somebody around my age. Probably a year or two below me, but I'll probably do a year, honestly, in all honest opinion. I might do a year. That's the youngest I will go. And like the oldest I would go, honestly, I would go a good 10 years. So 34-year-old, that would be like the most I would go. Most likely that won't happen. But then again, Beyonce and Jay-Z happened. So yeah, that's that. And relationships are so not complicated, but they're different. A relationship is only defined about how you approach it and how you actually would say, this is my relationship. Because I promise you, and people love, and I'm going to say this with my chest, people love to judge a relationship because they don't understand it. And again, that is all about perception. It's all about how you receive love. It's all about how you identify receiving love. It's all about how you identify love. And some people love is as simple as you just saying, I love you, and showing emotion. Some people say love is give me gifts, give me money, give me. Some people say just touch me. That's love right there. It's different for everybody. And you can't really judge a relationship based on you looking from the outside in. Now, I'm going to say this. Sometimes you judge a relationship and it's correct. Because sometimes when you judge from the outside in, that front door is open, all the windows open, the back door is open, the sliding door in the back is wide open. You seeing right through it. I get it. But the other half is that you just don't. You're just seeing you're only seeing the bad or toxic, quote unquote, side that they reveal, which shows they're actually comfortable. So, there's that again. I wanted to touch on that. And there was, I guess, let's talk about the love that you notice. I guess when you're young, your impressions on love is definitely influenced by parents, grandparents, your immediate family that you're always around. And I guess what I have to say about that is that my views on that changed, and especially because now I'm at the age where I want to define love for myself. I don't want my parents or grandparents to define what I think love should look like, should feel, should look like when it comes to the public, should do this, that, and the fifth. I honestly have come to a point where I just want to define my own love and relationship my own way. I don't want to copy and paste or copy one part and then change the last part. You know what I mean? I don't want that. And it's nothing against my parents. It's nothing against my grandparents. It's just the love that they have. It's cute, but it's not for me. It's so cookie cutter, and it's so it's not boring, but it's boring in my sense. No. And so I just don't need it. I don't need that. I don't need that. They have their own way of receiving love and showing love and giving love and this, that, and the fifth, but I want something different. And I think that's very important for you to identify how you feel love. Because the thing is, if you don't love somebody, if somebody does, okay, let me rephrase that. If somebody doesn't receive doesn't receive your love, how can I say this? Here we go. I'm gonna say it like this. If you are loving someone and you're saying, yes, I'm giving my all, I'm doing this, that, and the fifth. If that person isn't receiving the love the way that they receive love, then they're not being loved. And you're not giving them love. You think you are, but in all reality, you're not. And that's a slap in the face if you ever had a realization like that. I haven't, but I definitely know what others talk about. You know what I mean? And so it's definitely important that you address to yourself first how is it you want to be loved? Or how is it that you receive love? And what's the best way? I promise you, if I hit this mic one more time, but what's the best way for that you can communicate that to everybody, not just to your partner, but to everybody, so you're not feeling like you're not loved. You know what I mean? I think that's very important to address how you want to be loved. And sometimes you don't even have to say, you just gotta just do how your reactions are, how you react to this, that, and the fifth. It's very important that people notice that. And sometimes the person don't even know that they have to tell you and they just want you to click on. But that's what conversation is for. That's why we learned the ABCs, okay? That's why we did that in this. Growing up, learning how to do words, how to pronounce this, how we kept mocking people when we started learning. Communication is key. It may be hard for a lot of people. Me. I know. It's hard to really open my mouth and say my wants and needs. It's just, you don't want to feel like a burden, especially when they're already in a place where they have this, that, and the fifth. So it's hard to ask. And I'm guilty of that myself. But sometimes you can't do a lot of things alone. And that's something I'm really trying to help myself with. You can't do a lot. You can't do everything by yourself. You can love yourself, hands down. You can definitely do that by yourself. But you can't learn how to respect somebody else's boundaries if you don't make or create a relationship with someone else. That's definitely something that people need. You need people relationships to teach you how to deal with people. And this is not even on love, but since we're on love, yes, we're going to talk about love. We're going to talk about it from a love sense. But it's not, you don't have to. You don't have to. You have to have that people relationships to know how to maneuver and how to set up boundaries with people who are going to drain you, or how to really show affection without being overbearing. I don't know where I was going with that, but I hope you got something from that. And that's all I wanted to talk about on this episode. It was a shorter episode. I was trying to make sure I kept this at a good hour length. But when I add the songs later, for my Patreons, of course, when I add the songs later, they're definitely going to be longer. So that was definitely my take on, love nowadays. Of course, the more I live, the more I learn. So the next time I have this conversation, and some of my views may change, some of them may be the same, but definitely I want to talk about this topic when I have guests on this podcast, which is definitely going to be a whole different mind change. Maybe we have some differences, maybe have some similarities, some things that they probably will teach me. But that's all I have for y'all today. I am so glad you guys are here listening cozy. Yes, I know I look like a whole bum right now, but we got to get cozy, okay? So thank you guys so much, and I can't wait for the next episode. Peace out.